led by Reverend Trey Doyle, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please pray with me. Whether we are born to celebrate or called to focus on the future, gracious God, give those who serve the citizens and visitors of Mobile the wisdom needed to include all in the celebration and to make sure all are represented in visions of the future, from infant to elderly, rich to poor, influential to marginalized, and all those in between. Remind us of the high calling of being in community. Help us mend, restore, and maintain strong relationships between Mobile's city officials, servants, and her citizens. Help us act with character and conviction. Help us listen with understanding and goodwill. Help us speak with charity and restraint. Give us a spirit of service. Remind us that we are stewards of your authority. Guide us to be leaders of the leaders your people need. Help us see the humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us, and to treat all persons, no matter how weak or poor, with the reverence your creation deserves. Renew us with the strength of your presence and the joy of helping to build a community worthy of the human person. We ask this as your sons and daughters, confident in your goodness and love. Amen.
Roll call, President Gregory.
Here.
Vice President Richardson.
Here.
Councilmember Manzi.
Here.
Councilmember Small.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good to see you here this morning. We have some special guests that I'll introduce shortly. For those of you who don't attend our meetings regularly, our rules are very simple. We just asked everyone to please turn off all of your electronic devices. If you come to the podium to speak, you'll have 5 minutes. At the end of 4 minutes, you'll hear the buzzer. That's when we ask you to go ahead and begin wrapping up your comments. If you have questions or concerns, please address them to me. I'm the chair, and I will ask the appropriate member of the administration or council at that point to answer those questions and concerns. Again, it's good to see everyone here. Just one housekeeping note, on December 20th, we will be holding our annual council meeting over at Old City Hall. That's in the History Museum across the street. So we look forward to seeing everybody over there at Old City Hall on December 20th. With that, I'll turn it back over to Ms. Lambert.
Approval of minutes of November 29th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Communications from the mayor.
Certainly glad to see everybody this morning. We have a bunch of students from LaFleur High School, so y'all wave. Yep, good to see everybody. I want to alert everybody to the fact that we are going to light what we think will be Mobile's tallest Christmas tree in the history of the city on Thursday at Riverside Ice. So we hope that everybody will come down and look at participate in the lighting of that Christmas tree. The festivities begin at 5:30, so don't be late, and we hope that everybody will be there. After the tree lighting, everybody's invited to participate in the Riverside Ice, and it's the Riverside Ice's inaugural tacky Christmas sweater party. So wear your tackiest Christmas sweater, and I do have one, and you'll get $2 off of skating. And for those who don't skate, still wear your tacky Christmas sweater, just to show everybody that you have one. You know, this Friday is Mobile's chance again to break the Guinness's World Record for the most elves in one place. That is what we call Elfapalooza. To be part of the official count, you must wear red and green clothing, an elf hat, and pointy ears, and be at Bienville Square at 5 p.m. And currently, Bangkok, Thailand holds the record of 1,762 elves, barely pushing out Mobile to second place in the world. Now, we need to win this. I know there's 1,700 elves in Mobile that can be there, at Bienville Square. On another note, the Visitor Center is moving to the History Museum, which is the old City Hall, and will be staffed and managed by Visit Mobile. We're thrilled to work with our tourism partners to make sure it remains available and accessible to our guests and to our citizens. The Visitor Center will reopen next Monday at 9:00 a.m. Also this morning, I have an opportunity to recognize a long-term city employee, Miss Eva Golson. So Eva, if you don't mind coming to the podium and just stand before the City Council for just a moment, and I'll read this. But Eva was recently elected to be in the Southern Public Relations Federation's Hall of Fame. And so because of that and because of her long-standing service to the city, we hereby officially thank and recognize her for over 40 years of dedication and service to our region and to the city of Mobile, done the 6th day of December in the year of our Lord 2016 and in the 314th year of the founding of the city of Mobile. Proclaimed by the mayor.
This was quite an honor, and I was very honored to be nominated for this, and then very honored to receive it because everyone in PR in the state had to vote on it. So I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate representing the city of Mobile and our state to everyone that comes, whether it's tourism or film.
Thank you, Eva. Thanks for all that you do for the city of Mobile, and you are well deserving of this PR designation, and shows you have great public relations too, Eva.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Terrific.
Mayor?
That's it.
Is that it? Oh, okay. With the LaFleur students, we also have their advisor, and that's Miss English. Why don't you all stand up and let us recognize you? And this is the Law Academy, is that correct? Correct. The Law Academy? Okay, what do y'all do in the Law Academy? Tell us a little bit. Why don't you come down to the podium and just explain a little bit about what the Law Academy is, if you don't mind. I hate to put you on the spot like that, but we enjoy having students come to our council meetings.
I think we can allow them to sit now.
Yes, and yeah, y'all don't have to continue standing. Why don't you go ahead and sit?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Benita English, and I'm the Dean of Law at LaFleur High School.
All right.
The hidden secret of LaFleur High School. We have our own courtroom there, and we do mock trials. We learned how to incorporate the function of the law in its entirety, whether it's a police officer, fireman, anything that has to do with the law. We have done this for 7 years, but recently we are becoming of the Signature Law Academy. And every school has a signature. Our school is Law, Health, and Public Service. So we represent the students who are inspiring to become lawyers. We also work with lawyers coming in and telling us about the law program. We compete in Montgomery. Most of the times we have done a law competition, but this year we failed to do so because of funding, as you all know. Funding is one of the things that have a drawback. But the students here, they know how to ask questions. They write their opening and closing statements. They also work with Ms. Ashley Rich in the Youth Center. The students hear cases at Strickland, and they make judgments about those cases. Some of those students will rather hear the students at LaFleur try their cases than Judge Naaman and the staff. So we work hard at writing, speaking, and debating. This is LaFleur's Academy of Law. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
I would like to say that Ms. English, she was my 8th grade history teacher at Booker T. Washington. And at that time, she wasn't Mrs. English, she was Miss Ross, Mrs. Bonita Ross. Yeah, thank you. She helped me to, she helped me to where I'm at today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Richardson?
Yes, Madam President, LaFleur High School is in
the heart of District 1, and I expect every student up there to become a first-class lawyer once they leave the floor.
Madam President,
Yes, sir. Mr. Dames?
it is really very rewarding to see these young folks here today that are engaged in this program at LaFleur High School. Lawyers sometimes get a bad rap, but they've served very important roles, not only in the founding of our country, but in the maintenance of the basic liberties we all enjoy ever since the founding of this country. And if there's one thing we need young people who are interested in serving in government, coming along. It's the duty of all of our citizens to serve in some way, and we need good folks coming along that can serve in the seats we sit in and the seat the mayor sits in, not immediately, but sometime down the road. Thank you.
All right, thank
President
you.
Gregory?
Yes, Ms. Rich?
Thank you. I would like to thank the group for being down here. And if you need a resource for municipal law, we have an elegant attorney that hopefully, when called upon to come visit, perhaps would be able to give you that bird's eye view. But again, thank you so much and the very best of luck to each of you.
Madam
And
President.
come back anytime. Mr. Manzi?
Yes, ma'am. I'd also like to congratulate this great group. I had the privilege of representing LaFleur on the school board for 5 years and investing in the law program. And to Ms. Ross English, thank you for all of your many years of dedicated service to the Mobile County Public School System. It's certainly appreciated, and you can see not only with Councilman Small, but with this group here today, that it's certainly time well spent.
Madam President, can I say this last one? The last I checked, the graduation rate is higher at LaFleur than any other public school in the system. The last I checked. They have an outstanding graduation rate. I think you got Principal Daly out there, and he has just done wonders up there. It's an unkept secret. No one's saying anything, but I commend you all for doing an outstanding job in educating the children at LaFleur High School.
All right. Ms. Lambert?
Adoption of the agenda.
So move.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Appeals, we have requests for a waiver of the noise ordinance on December 10th on North Ann Street, December 31st on Chatham Street, and December 18th on Dolphin Street.
So move.
Second.
Discussion on any of these? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Public hearings today is a public hearing to accept public comments on the proposed sidewalk plan for improvements along Dolphin Island Parkway.
This is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this proposal, you're welcome to come to the podium.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to, Madam President, I'd like
Yes,
to
sir.
call Ms. Debbie Foster to come down and speak on behalf of the citizens on the South DIP area.
All right, I saw her coming on down anyway, so, hey, Debbie.
Good morning, good morning. Debbie Foster, 4507 Park Road, 36605. Thank you again. As Executive Director of the Peninsula of Mobile, I love standing in front of you guys and telling you we're about to do another grant. But we need you to help us with this. This is going to be Phase 2 of the Connecting Mobile's Coastal Peninsula. Thank you, funded through Mr. Spall to some degree if we get the TAP grant, that Transportation Assistance Grant. This particular one is going to be on the north end, what we call the gateway. You know, you guys know that as you come across south on I-10, that first piece you see, just like if you come into your district, that first piece you see is what sets the stage for how people feel about our community. And up there between some empty vacant lots, there are also very abrupt stops to sidewalks, just stop in the middle of the grass. I've played in traffic now for 6 months up there, looking at how people use it. We've got students, we've got people who are infirm, we have a lot of people who use that. If you were watching the news this morning, they actually interviewed one of those men who use that every day, walking across. So we're putting in some crosswalks is part of this proposal as well. So I know this is your first time hearing it. We look forward to you approving it, and thank you to the City of Mobile's Traffic Engineering Department. I would not be standing here without them. Or ALDOT, at that matter. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie. Appreciate it.
Madam President, I'd like to
Mr.
thank
Small?
Ms. Foster and the Peninsula Group for all the hard work. We know that we have kids from Gilliard, Pillins, and BC Rain travel up and down DIP, which is one of the heaviest real estate highways in our city. And this will help the not only the students but residents that are trying to catch the bus to go in and out of the South DIP area. Again, thank you so much for doing what you're doing for our community.
All right, anyone else in the audience who would like to speak to this? All right, with that then, the public hearing is closed.
Public hearing to rezone property at 1201 and 1203 Michigan Avenue, southeast corner of Michigan Avenue and Bay Avenue, from B2 and R1 to B2.
Again, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this, please come to the podium.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Raymond Bell from 958 Dolphin Street, here on behalf of the developer. This matter was before the Planning Commission, and following the Planning Commission meeting, there were some meetings in the community at the suggestion of members of the Planning Commission and also the councilman from this district. We had some very fruitful meetings, and I am pleased to report that the community and the developer have made some outstanding recommendations that I think everybody will be comfortable with going forward. Here today, I don't have, yes I do. Here's the site plan, and one of the recommendations that the Planning Commission had was that they wanted a 6-foot fence that would border any R1 and R2. The community has asked for an 8-foot shadow box fence, where the developer is willing to do. One of the other recommendations was that there be a hedgerow, and the hedgerow recommendation was the height of the fence. Now that the fence is going to be 8 feet, the recommendation is for there not to be a hedgerow that would be that high, and that there would not be a hedgerow here along the south line. This is a setback from Michigan Avenue to just about the building, so there obviously wouldn't be any here. The building sits right at 10 feet off of that line. The agreement is, instead of that greenery there, is to have chain link fencing here and here between the building and the 8-foot shadow box that would deny any access, but would be chain linked to provide for the visual possibilities to see if there's anything back there. What we're asking is for the recommendations in the letter dated October 24th, and number 4 is to change that from a 6-foot wooden privacy fence to an 8-foot shadow box fence. And we're asking that in the provision number 5, that the greenery be restricted to the plantings that we want to do 3 off center here, along here, and none behind the building, and not in the setback where the fencing would be 3 feet. We've met with the community. I know there's some members here, and they can confirm our discussions and our meetings, and I think their satisfaction, I would say.
All right, any questions of Mr. Bell? Okay, Bert is up.
And Bert just gave me this.
He gave you the okay?
He's getting it down.
Yeah. Bert, you heard all that? Why don't you come on down?
Hi, I'm Bert Hoffman with Planning and Zoning Department. I was just verifying with Richard Olson to make sure that the council had legal authority to make the change, and he does agree that you guys can make that screening change based on what Mr. Bell has suggested.
Okay. Any other questions of Mr. Bell?
Madam President.
Mr. Small?
Yeah, I got a chance on last evening to meet with the residents in the area. Many of the residents are excited to see some type of change in the community. There was some concerns about the traffic with the churches next door, and the developer had addressed those concerns also. There also was concerns about liquor sale, and the developer also stated that that particular property would never have any liquor sales. With those concerns are being addressed, the community are excited. That's a blighted piece of property that's been on Michigan Avenue for many years, and to have something to come in new and to bring up the property value is a great thing, not only for the residents in the Maysville area, but for the city of Mobile. Thank you, and thank you, attorney and the developer and the realtors.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Madam President, just
Mr.
wanted, I don't recall
Williams?
doing this before and just wanted to get a nod from our attorney that this is the proper procedure.
You can amend these,
Don't give him a microphone, please.
you can amend these to restrictions or conditions without having to re-advertise because they're not changing the use of the property.
Okay? Yep.
Now, how we, I think the first one involving the fence can easily be changed. How we word the second one is a little bit more difficult.
Should we hold the vote over to get the wording correct?
Well, this is first read on the ordinance, so if we need to do that within the week's time, we
Okay.
can do that.
Right.
All right. We support it.
With all due respect, may I just be in contact with Mr. Rossler and get it done over the week?
Absolutely. Yes,
And
indeed.
it will be on the agenda
Sounds-
next Tuesday?
yes.
Perfect.
I look forward to coming back. Thank you.
Thanks,
All right.
ma'am.
The other thing, if I could add.
Yes, ma'am.
Which Councilman Small already made reference to, and that is the use restrictions. Not only is that something that the developer has talked about, it's something that's tied to the zoning, because this, it's a condition of the zoning itself, which gives the community even greater understanding of what will be there in the future, so.
And ma'am, to follow up that, we met with the community and we heard everything that they said, and we've made a guarantee to them there will be no bars, there will be no lounges, there will be no firearm sales, no pool halls, no liquor stores, and no alcohol sales, period.
Right, and that follows the zoning per se. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone else. All right, public hearing is closed.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Jan McKay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Gosh, it's so nice to be here, and I want to thank the council members, Madam President, Mr. Mayor, and the staff for allowing me to give a little update today. So, you can all hear me? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, you know, the Explorium has been around here in Mobile for 33 years. And I'm excited to tell you that it's doing well. 15 years on Spring Hill Avenue, and then 18 years at our wonderful location right at the corner of Water and Government Streets and Royal Street. And now we have a beautiful park across from our facility. We're so excited about all the possibilities that brings. You know, there are many exciting things happening that happened this past year, and when we think of the Explorium, we start to think about changing exhibits, but you know, there's so much more to it. But I'm pleased to say that in 2016, we had 5 exhibitions that were changing, starting with the chocolate exhibit that lasted only until January 17th, followed by Da Vinci Machines and Robotics, from the Artisans of Florence it was just incredible, and I know many of you came to see that. And then we had the Sherlock Holmes and the Clock Tower Mystery exhibit that wasn't about science, but about the principles related to good scientific inquiry and discovery, how to think, how to observe, how to talk, how to assess, and it was all very playful and fun. And then we followed now with 2 wonderful exhibitions, the guitar exhibit, Guitar, the Instrument That Rocked the World. It's not just a guitar exhibit, it's about the science of music, but there are 60 wonderful specimens and artifacts of guitars from the National Guitar Museum. There's the Guinness Book of World Records largest guitar on exhibit, 43 feet long, artifacts going back from 3,000 years to guitars that were played by Elvis, played by B.B. King, and so many amazing hands-on discovery areas about electricity and so forth. And next to that, we decided to bring a companion exhibit in called It's Always Rock and Roll. None of you probably like rock and roll or music, right? You've got to see this exhibit. For 42 years, this woman has been photographing music, rock stars, and musical legends. And there are 50 exhibits there from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum, 50 photographs rather. So it's only up through January 1st, so if you missed it, come over the holidays. Wonderful experience. In the past 2 years, the Explorium has spent well over $500,000 bringing in these exhibitions. And they have been well received, and they really affect our bottom line as well. We found that about 23% of our visitors come from outside of Mobile and Baldwin County. So we're doing our part to market to tourists as best we can. We don't do any of this alone. We've had wonderful supporters. Your partnership, Hargrove, AMNS Calvert, Delaney Foundation, the Community Foundation, PNC, WKRG, and Mobile County, and so many others that make these exhibits possible. Coming February 3rd, an amazing exhibit that you have in front of you from the DEA Education Foundation. We're so happy that Mayor Stinson has agreed to be honorary chair as one of our honorary chairs for this exhibit about drugs. It's about the science of what drugs do to your brain, but also what it does to your family and your community when there's so much addiction and terrorism going on with the drug trade. We're going to have, and I didn't know this until recently, pieces of the Twin Towers on exhibit as well. So amazing things happening at the Explorium. Saturday is Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, our Christmas event for children and families, and Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus, and a big train, and the University of Mobile singers, and a lot of things for families. So we invite all of you to come.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jan.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Jan,
Go
one
ahead.
other thing. Do you want to just tell us just a little something about the new technology that you have for your films?
Yes.
Because I think the community would really embrace that.
Sure. Right now we have our Dome IMAX theater with the big film that is used for IMAX movies. And then Evonik Industries helped us to purchase another projector that allows the largest screen in Mobile, but not quite on the full dome. But we're doing a lot of innovative things with Purdue University and the National Science Foundation, and we have lectures followed by a classic movie for adults called our Domehead Science Project. But we just recently went to Cleveland to see the brand new technology, laser digital technology for the dome. It is now in existence. There's one company that has it, and we went to see it at the Great Lakes Science Center, and it is awesome. This is the kind of technology that we're going to need to get to do the next level of programming in there.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Have a happy holiday. I hope to see you.
Thank you, Jan.
Ronald Hunt.
I'm Ronald Hunt. I reside at 1351 Sandra Drive, Mobile, Alabama, 36618. I guess we've been addressing and discussing a lot about Fort Condy and the Visitor Center and its location, and change is difficult. When things change that have been operating the way they have since 1983, I guess it ruffles a lot of feathers. It's probably ruffled mine. I probably offended some people and been maybe a little arrogant at times in my defense or my advocacy of something that I didn't want to change. And I guess sometimes we have to accept that change has come and move forward. So I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but I kind of want to discuss about our future of our Visitor Center. This is a mission to serve the people that come to our city, to help them discover all the wonderful historic things that we have and all the opportunities we have to provide everyone. And I'm just kind of concerned about how we're going to move our Visitor Center forward, because when we played the shell game on September 27th, we eliminated the $200,000 for the Visitor Center, for the Fort Condy Visitor Center in the proposed budget. It was not finalized in your final budget. Visit Mobile was given level funding, so they are maintaining all that they did without the money for the Visitor Center. And I'm just concerned how we're going to provide a certain level of service to manage our Visitor Center and what we're going to be able to do. So I wanted to come publicly and just bring this forward to make us think of how are we going to set certain priorities to fund some of the things that Visit Mobile is going to need to operate a Visitor Center. And I made a list, and it may not be totally inclusive. I'm not the manager over there, so I may not know of everything they need, but they do need to be able to pay for the Visitor Center manager's salary. If you're going to make Mr. Calhoun the manager there now that works for visitors, for Visit Mobile, that money I think was probably paid in the past by the Fort Condy Visitor Center line item. We need office supplies. It's going to take pens, paper, notepads, computer paper, software. We've got to make schedules. If you're not going to hire people, you've got to schedule people to get volunteers there. So you're going to need office supplies. You're going to need postage stamps, envelopes, inks, things to be able to mail out volunteer schedules and be able to contact all the people that need to come in there to help Mr. Calhoun manage the visitor center. We're going to need a telephone line. We often need to pick up the phone and call the Battleship or Bellingraph or the DAR home or somewhere and ask them a question. And we've been doing that for several weeks or probably about 2 months by using our own cell phones. That's an expense that's got to be covered. We need probably Wi-Fi, though the History Museum may be able to allow us to do that, but there's going to need some type of internet service for the Visitor Center. That's either going to have to be provided by the History Museum, and the phone line is going to have to be provided by the History Museum, but it's going to be expense that's going to have to be made. We need some way to be able to compensate people that go around the city and pick up brochures. When they're printed, they don't always get them to us. And Walter Calhoun, or when Cecile Clark was there, she actually hired people that distributed visitor guides to some of the other visitor center, like on the interstate. We need some funds to be able to get the visitor information to the places that they need. I'm not sure if the liability insurance for the visitor center is going to be covered by the History Museum of Mobile, but you've got to provide for the liability of your employees, your staff, your volunteers, and your visitors. And if it's not going to be underwritten under the History Museum, then Visit Mobile is going to have to somehow be able to pay to have a liability insurance policy to cover any accidents or problems that may happen. And then there's usually nice, though it's not absolutely essential, it's nice to be able to provide some type of incentive to your volunteers to show your gratitude for them, whether it's a breakfast or whether it's a name tag or whatever you can do to make them feel appreciative. You need some funding for that. Now, if I understand what happened, the $200,000 was eliminated from the budget, and the administration was going to fund the operation of the Visitor Center. And now it's being given back to Visit Mobile. So I guess I'm just here advocating where the fund's going to be to pay for all of this. I hope the City Council will either provide some discretionary funding, the administration will provide some funding, because we're going to need this money to be able to serve our visitors to the City of Mobile. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hunt.
Ms. Antone?
Designated.
My name is Irene Antone. I live at 2202 Clinton Street, and I always say that you all steal my thunder. Everything that you all talked about, because this is the end of the year, I was going to give my report as the Good Shepherd. Okay. So starting number one, I'm proud of our children because it's in his district, and LaFleur was the first magnet high school in Mobile. Then they start, doing other stuff. Okay, next, Madam President. Veterans Day was kind of long ways now. And I was out there looking for you all and the veteran and everything, and I missed one of mine. So, now, Ford Conde. I was talking to someone when I came out of the lot, and they say with the new systems, the new place, they have a little rock. So that's gonna be representing Ford County. Ford County is there. Now they are saying that they're gonna charge for you to go to Ford County. Okay, we have this thing here, this free trolley that goes around the block, you know, go around a certain area of the city. You all got one, Lola, whatever her name is, and it goes around the city, and we need to use some of them, okay? We were talking about different streets being, when we was at the other meeting down to the recreation center, they was talking about the other meeting and the oldest school. I'm not deflating it, but Borden Academy was the oldest school, and they named Williamson for Miss Williamson because she was teaching school at her house. So it wasn't the oldest school, it was another one. Okay? Now, sometime last week, we had some policemen up to round our school, and they were saying something was wrong. It wasn't nothing wrong. Dothan High School or Dothan, well anyhow, their school board came to look at our law situation. She know, I think I knew her when she was little, when she was in school, I'm not sure. Because I started at Central at 63.
It's me, I'm sorry.
I started at Central, working at Central High School in 1963. We closed Central, at least somebody did, closed Central, and we went to Toulmobile. They closed Toulmobile, and we marched from Toulmobile to LaFleur in '81. And not only her, but other people are doing stuff for our school that you all don't even know about. They keep, just like she said, they keep it under the cover. I don't know why, but it's kept under the cover. So I think that's all I want to say right now. Is that sufficient, cuz?
That's sufficient. All right.
All right, thank you, Ms. Antone.
Thank you.
Resolutions held over 35702, amend existing lease agreement and memorandum of lease with Cellular South to change location description.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Yes,
All in-
Madam President.
Mr. Manzi?
I had a community meeting on last evening at the New Bayside Baptist Church where residents came and asked questions relative to the proposal. They were sufficiently answered by Mr. Brooks Milling, who represents Cellular South C Spire in this transaction. He is here today. They're in the questions of the council, but we believe we can move forward positively on this agenda item.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
07762, approve SCFFA Series 2016 bonds issued in support of Nolan Health Services.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
21763, authorized contract with Centus Corporation Number 2 for rental of flame-resistant uniforms for the electrical department.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
37764, consider the application of Trevor Gaston doing business as reliable taxi service for a certificate of public convenience and necessity for a taxi cab service.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
21756, authorized contract with Simplex Grinnell for vent hood cleaning various City of Mobile locations.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Ordinance is being introduced for the first time, 64065 through 88066.
By council rules, these ordinances will live for 1 week.
All right.
Consent resolutions being introduced for the first time, 03765 through 58772.
Motion for the suspension of the rules for immediate consideration of resolution 765 through 58772.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll take the first three together, 03765, 766, and 787. Appoint Reggie Hill to the Human Relations Commission. Appoint Corey Adair and Diane Frank to the Mobile Museum of Art Board. And appoint Sean Conklin to the History Museum of Mobile Board.
So moved.
Second, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll take the next four together, 25, 767, 768, 769, and 770 are accepting 2 permanent drainage easements and 3 construction easements needed for Modeling Drive drainage improvements, except 5 sidewalk construction easements needed for the McGregor Avenue sidewalk project, except the construction easement, 2 right of entry permits, and 1 permit to enter property as needed for the 3 Mile Creek Bank Stabilization Project drainage improvements, and accept 9 construction easements for Moores Creek Drainage Rehabilitation Project.
So move.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
37771 and 788 are recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license for Soul House Lounge on St. Stephen's Road, and for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license for the Vineyard on Daru Drive.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
58772, assess cost for removal of weeds, weed lien group number 4.
So moved.
Second, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
CIP resolutions being introduced for the first time, 21773 through 13779.
Motion for suspension of rules for immediate consideration of resolutions 21775, 21776, 77, and 778. And the rest will be over for a week.
All right, is there,
Second.
all right, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
21775, authorized contract with geotechnical engineering testing for 2017 resurfacing citywide.
So moved.
Second, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Get them all.
21, you want me to take them all together?
Yeah.
Okay, 21776, 777, 778 are authorizing contract with Pope Testing for engineering evaluations of soil materials of Bolton's Branch Creek Channel repairs. Authorized contract with All South Heating and Cooling for Dodge Community Center repairs, HVAC repairs. Authorized contract with Watson AC Strunk Design for Matry Park improvements.
So moved. Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolutions being introduced for the first time, 01780 through 31786.
By council rules, those resolutions will be over for 1 week.
Announcements.
All right. I'm going to start because I have to run out to an appointment at noon, so I just want to remind everyone again about the meeting on September, I keep wanting to say September, I'm getting way ahead of myself. December 20th, we will be at Old City Hall. This past weekend, we celebrated Christmas on the Hill. It was wet and soggy, but we still had a great turnout. Merchants tell me that because people were actually going to these particular retailers to shop, that actually things turned out well for them. So I was happy to see that. It was a little damp, though, in those carriage rides. Yesterday, I attended another kind of soggy event. It was the groundbreaking for the county's new EMA facility. It is on Ziegler Boulevard, out close to the 911 center and as well as the NOAA. And the city has provided the property out there. That's one of the parts that the city is playing in that. But it's really going to be a fabulous building once it is complete. Thanks so much to the county for spearheading this and all the work that they have done, along with some other state agencies included. So just want to thank them for including me and the mayor in that as well. With that, I'm going to turn the gavel over to Mr. Richardson to finish up all of these Announcements, and I do have my Christmas meeting tonight, so that's one of the things that I'm getting ready for. We will be at the Museum of Art this evening at 6 o'clock. It's my annual Christmas meeting, so if you're kind of on the edge and deciding whether to come, I hope you will. It's always a great meeting. We recognize all of our first responders and community groups in the district, so look forward to seeing everyone tonight at 6 o'clock at the Mobile Museum of Art.
All right. Moving right along, announcements.
I have none.
Okay, CJ?
Thank you, Vice President. This coming Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m., December the 10th, we will have our second Parades of Threes coming up in DIP. The parade will start at the BC Rain High School at 2 o'clock p.m. We're going to travel up to Old Military Road and disband at the Palmer Pillins Middle School, inviting all the citizens of District 3 and the city of Mobile to come out for this spectacular event. Last year we drew a crowd of 15,000 and looking to expect to draw a little bit more this year. This year, McKinney Place has been chosen to benefit from this year's holiday Parades of Threes. McKinney Place is the only women's shelter, that homeless women's shelter that we have here in the city of Mobile, and all the proceeds will be going to McKinney Place. Some of the sponsors are Cunningham and Bound Law Firm and Coca-Cola drink products, and also the city of Mobile. Again, we're inviting all the citizens in Mobile to come out this coming Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m. For the Parades of Threes down Dolphin Island Parkway. Also on December the 13th, Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m., we will have our annual Christmas meeting at the Palmer Pillins Middle School, inviting all the citizens of District 3 to come out as we enjoy singing and eating on this coming, on next Tuesday. We're also asking, not required, but we're also asking everyone to bring a non-perishable item such as house coat, house shoes, baby powder for an elderly person within our district. For the last 3 or 4 years, we've been collecting items for the elderlies that are in the nursing home and throughout our community that do not have anyone to share with during the holiday season. And again, you're more than welcome to come on next Tuesday, December the 13th at 6 o'clock p.m. at the Palmer Pillins Middle School. And someone asked me on last evening that they weren't able to come. Where can they drop off the items? You're more than welcome to drop down the items here at City Hall on the 9th floor on the South Tower at the City Council office, or either my office on Broad Street, 950 South Broad Street. And remember that District 3 is the place where things are happening. Thank you, Vice President.
All right. Thank you. Beth?
Thank you very much, Vice President. I'd like to announce again the breakfast out at the Connie Hudson Senior Center at 9 a.m. on Thursday the 21st. It'll be a lot of good fellowship. Hope that you'll join us. And also initiative of the Senior Center is a program called Socks for Seniors, and they are taking donations, cash donations that anyone would like to contribute towards that program, and or actual socks that you might want to drop off that will be given to the seniors. And again, that's December 21st for the breakfast, and I think the socks might be given out at that point too. So again, I thank the Senior Center and the volunteers, the staff, and the foundation for joining me in this wonderful event to take place. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Joel?
No announcements.
Devon?
Yes, Mr. Vice President, I want to again thank the residents in the Ladd Stadium area for coming out to the community meeting held on last night at New Bayside. Thank you to Dr. Cleveland and officers and members there for allowing us to assemble there last night. On this Sunday at 3 o'clock, we'll have the 4th annual Christmas by the Creek. Various musical acts and entertainment will be available. They'll be located at 857 Crawford Lane, which is off of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue, right across in that cul-de-sac across from Twin Oaks Nursing Home. Certainly want to invite residents to come out and enjoy that, this great annual Christmas by the Creek this particular Sunday, this Sunday at 3 p.m. On tomorrow night, we'll have our annual Christmas meeting. It'll be at the Via Center on Dolphin Street at 6 o'clock. We want to invite residents from District 2 to come out and participate in that particular meeting. Certainly look forward to a great time tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Certainly those residents are invited to come out. And on last Tuesday, we opened the newest park in the city of Mobile, the Mardi Gras Park. We're proud of it. We know that this is phase 1. I look forward to hopefully finding the financing for phase 2. Excited about all of the capital improvement projects that are about to take place in the district. We're up for $1 million in resurfacing in District 2 in this CIP year. And so we know that will answer many of the requests that citizens have made relative to resurfacing. Again, we ask for your patience as we implement the second year of the CIP process. And I'm appreciative of the citizens from Maysville who came out on last week, appreciative of the mayor and our colleagues for meeting last week in our council and the community meeting in the historic Maysville community. I heard from several of the residents who have worked on some of the issues that have been brought to our attention via that meeting, and appreciate the opportunity for us to take our city government into the hearts of our communities. They'll do it, Vice President.
All right, thank you. It's a lot of good things coming to District 1, a lot of contracts on our agenda that we approved today. We can't set the time. We got contracts on our agenda dealing with resurfacing, sidewalks. Okay, well, let me just say that we got the sidewalks coming on O'Shea Road in Midtown, and those sidewalks are going to start at Union Street, and it's coming all the way down to Holland Avenue on O'Shea Road, on past UMS on O'Shea Road. Their contract was on our agenda today, and it was approved. We have a lot of sidewalks that's in need of repair, especially in Midtown. That contract was approved today. We don't know when it's going to start, but all we could do as council members is approve the contract. So that contract was approved today. The heating and cooling system at Dodge Center, we've had all sorts of difficulties with that. It was corrected today in terms of finance. We approved the contract to fix that. For the first time in the history of Herndon Park, basketball is coming to Herndon Park. That is a game changer. I consider this to be a major amenities to that park. We play almost everything, every sport you can mention, we are playing it, but we're not playing basketball up there. So we're going to have us a full basketball court at Herndon Park, and on the day we open it up, I want competition. I want basketball, basketball, basketball. And if you don't have a basketball, I'll buy you a basketball. We're gonna play some basketball at Herndon Park. So we're waiting on this to happen. We've approved the contract. We have all the money there. Thanks to County Commissioner Masira Ludgood, who kicked in funding to help us to do that because I was unable to do it. I've been trying to get basketball up there for a long time. Basketball is coming. Lots of resurfacing is coming to Midtown, but I've gotten a lot of calls about Wagner Street in Tobinville. It's on there. About all of the streets in Creek Circle, they're in there. And I'm not going down all the lists, but we got lots of streets coming that's going to be resurfaced in District 1. I can't pick the time. Hopefully it'll be real soon, but October starts 2017 at the end of the last day in September. It's going to be between that time period that we expect all of this to happen. Do we have anything from the administration? If not, if all minds are clear, this meeting is adjourned.